Welcome back. In our previous video, we dwelled into the check-in process and the fun activities available on cruise. Today we are shifting gears to explore the breathtaking adventures awaiting in Alaska. Day 3. Upon arriving in Sitka, we headed to the deck to get a better view of the surrounding. Despite the slightly gloomy weather, the scenery was still beautiful. Here are some shots we took before having breakfast and getting ready for our excursion. We had signed up for a bus tour in Sitka that included visits to Raptor Center, a bear habitat, and a national park. After breakfast, everyone was instructed to assemble in the theater for excursion, where people were divided into groups according to their chosen activities. Since most passengers had booked excursions, it was quite crowded as we prepared to disembark. You just need to present your cruise pass when getting off, but be sure to stay with your group to avoid ending up on a different excursion, which almost happened to us. Once you receive your bus pass, it will take you to all the pre-planned locations. The Raptor Center was amazing and featured various other birds as well. Fun fact, an eagle's wings get larger and heavier as they grow. As a result, they often become unable to fly and usually fall. This sanctuary is designed to care for these kinds of eagle and other birds. You can even find the famous owl like one Harry Potter had, Hedwig here.
So you don't fly?
No idea.
Poor guys.
The bear habitat, also known as the Fortress of Bear, was our next stop. In Alaska, many bear cubs are found on the roadside due to various circumstances. Since they are wild animals, it is prohibited to touch them. To address this, the sanctuary built a habitat for stranded or abandoned bears. Currently, there are 3 black bears, Tullian, Banded and Smoky, and 2 brown bears, whose name I forgot, are residing here. Our last stop was Sitka National Historical Park, which preserves the site of the battle between the invading Russian traders and indigenous tribes. It's a beautiful national park with a rainforest look. Fun fact, otter's hair was considered to be more expensive than gold. So there used to be a lot of smuggling of otter hairs. That is why the population of otters was decreasing significantly. Luckily that was stopped and now the population of the otters are increasing.
Lo que pasa es que
From the national park, everyone had 2 choices. We could either take the same bus back to the cruise or walk to downtown Sitka and take a shuttle bus back. Since the downtown shuttle bus is usually crowded, we opted for the cruise bus. Upon re-entering the cruise, you must show a valid ID and your cruise pass.
Hi, welcome back home, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy your lunch.
Thank
Did
you.
you go outside?
Yeah.
Just come back.
We had a lunch on the cruise and took a refreshing nap to get ready for the night's activity. Today's cuisine was Indian food. There was vada paws. लय भारी होते. काय बोलते आपली मुंबई पब्लिक? Day 4, Icy Strait Point. We reached Icy Strait Point in Alaska and had a quick breakfast as our excursion was about to start. During breakfast, we caught a quick glimpse of a humpback whale. It was raining as we headed out for our excursion. The day 4 excursion was simple but exciting. A tramcar ride to the top of the mountain. We had to change tramcar twice to reach the top, and the second tramcar was breathtaking. It was built at a very tall height, and the gushing winds made it feel like we were about to fall. Unfortunately, when we reached the top of the mountain, it was all foggy, so we couldn't see anything below. But on clear days, I've heard, you can usually see the lake and the cruise from above. Despite the fog, we explored a small trail that took us to the river. Along the trail, we enjoyed little snow here and there. After descending the mountain, we decided to take a trail directly back to the cruise instead of using the second tram. Near the port, there was an excellent restaurant. Actually, the only one. But it offered an excellent beer and drinks, perfect for the cold weather. Back on the cruise, we followed our usual routine, had lunch, enjoyed a great nap, and get ready for the night's activity. Day 5, Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier. On day 5, the cruise will arrive near the glacier area around 5 am. So be ready with your camera and head to the deck as early as possible, as it gets crowded quickly. But don't worry, the cruise will provide you with excellent hot chocolate for the chilly weather. The ship will cruise through the beautiful mountains before finally reaching the glacier. Make sure to bring a zoom lens or a phone with a good zoom feature, like my S22 Ultra, because the ship won't go too close to the glacier. It needs to turn around to head back to the port. After viewing the glacier, the cruise will dock near the Juno port for day 5 excursion, which includes a visit to the Glacier Gardens and the Mendenhall Glacier Park. The founder of the garden had an incident where, in frustration, he planted a tree upside down. To his surprise, a few days later, flowers began to bloom from the tree roots. This unexpected event inspired the creation of Glacier Gardens. After exploring the garden, a staff member will take us to the top of the forest where we can enjoy the panoramic view of Juno and its airport. My wife and I sat at the front of the vehicle, making the ride a bit scary, especially since there was no window and I was sitting near the edge.
Gnarly looking. Some of those branches look like big hands and arms, and that was caused by a parasite called the dwarf mistletoe. So my husband was a timber faller for 25 years. He got whacked twice with those limbs. Now he's a mechanic.
On our way to the glacier, we sat in the front row of the bus since the seats were unreserved and people were sitting randomly. Once we reached the park, we started heading towards the glacier. While we were shooting videos, a lady came up to us claiming we had taken a seat on the bus. Listen to this.
Because we got on those seats first, and you know it, both of you. I'm not going to say anything to him, but you know it was wrong. Everybody else took their seats. That's why your seats were wrong.
Her daughter apologized afterwards, but it was a weird encounter. We took some great shots and captured a bit of history. Here are some shots. On the return trip to the cruise, we didn't sit in the front. Instead, a girl and her mother took the seat. My wife and I couldn't help but laugh from the back as the lady was furious but couldn't do anything about it. I guess karma got to her. After we reached the port, we explored the downtown where I found Thane. Are Atepan Mumbai? Context. Thane is a big city outside Mumbai. Stay tuned for day 6 and day 7 where we reach Canada and cruise back to home.